Okay. So in the last class, what we discussed, ma'am, till now in the demo class. So we discussed about when did Salesforce started, okay, and what is CRM and Sales Cloud plus Service Cloud, right? And cloud computing components, all these things. Yeah. So what is SaaS, madam? Hamrata, what is SaaS? Hamrata, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What is SaaS?
Software as a service, everything. Sorry, sir.
Let me.
Uh,
You're watching, you're checking somewhere notes and you're speaking, or like you're giving answer directly. Tell me,
yes,
madam, what is SaaS?
uh, software as a service.
Hmm.
Already developed software. Oh, developed software.
Hmm.
Uh, that the SaaS product functional అంటే salesforce.com అనేది ఒకటి యూస్ చేస్తాం సార్.
Okay.
అంతే సార్.
Okay, okay, madam. Speak slowly, madam. No problem. Okay. I am like a not interviewer. Like I'm not like a teacher. Okay. So you can speak freely and friendly. Okay.
ఓకే
Don't
సార్.
like take tensions. But what I'm requesting you is whatever I'm teaching, all the questions I'll ask in each class. So you should prepare. అర్థమవుతుందా మేడం? So I'll ask questions daily. So you should prepare daily. Whatever we are teaching in the class. So you need to prepare all the topics daily. Okay, don't take tension, just speak freely. Okay. So you
ఓకే
passed when you passed out, madam?
సార్.
What is your education when you passed out?
ఎంఎస్సి కంప్యూటర్స్ సార్.
When you passed out, madam? Recently or like when it is?
రీసెంట్లీ సార్. 8 months అవుతుంది కంప్లీట్ అయ్యి.
Okay, okay, ma'am, no problem. So okay, don't take tension, madam. Speak slowly. Okay.
ఓకే సార్.
So we are initial days, right? You should prepare every day, same class on the same day. Otherwise, what will happen after 10 days? If topics are more topics, you will confuse, right? So that's why you should prepare. Not only what I'm teaching, even you can search in Google, they will get more ideas. For example, I have given some ideas what is cloud computing, right? So like Gmail, email, Facebook, all these things. So similarly, you can check cloud computing. What is cloud computing in Google, right? To understand easily. You have to research more whatever topics we're discussing. Understand, madam? Hello?
సార్.
Understand? Okay. You should prepare. Okay. What is PaaS? Subba Reddy?
PaaS is a platform as a service.
Okay. Then why will you, what is the use of that platform as service?
It can
Why
use
will you?
like
Mhm.
webs like dot um, gmail.com
What is the purpose of PaaS, sir? Why will you use PaaS?
we can use
What's the purpose? Why will you use PaaS? Kusuma, what is PaaS? Kusuma, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What is PaaS, madam?
Yeah, PaaS is nothing but to develop the applications.
Mm, correct. You have to give definition first, like what is PaaS mean? Platform as a service. So we'll use this PaaS to develop the new applications, or we can customize the existing applications. For example, in Salesforce, we can use force.com is the platform as a service. Okay, apart from Salesforce, in case if you want to take any other examples, like in Google, they will use a Google App Engine to develop a new applications like Gmail, Google Drive, etc., something like that. We have to speak 2 to 3 minutes, madam. At least 1 minute you have to speak for any topic. Understand,
Yes.
madam? Understand, Subbaradi?
yes sir.
At least we need to speak 2 to 3 minutes, then only it will be good, actually. Okay. So in the last class, I have created one new org, right? Everyone is created new org actually in the last class. Done or not done? So how to create new org? Salesforce org, free org, which URL we have to use?
Developer.salesforce.com.
Correct. Developer.salesforce.com. Sign up. Understand, sir? We have to use this URL to create a new account. So everyone is created new accounts, sir? Or not created? So if you are not created, just create a new org today. Okay. Okay. So that is all. Okay. And what are the editions available in Salesforce? Anyone? What are the editions available in Salesforce? What is edition, first of all? What is edition and what are the editions available in Salesforce? Why will use editions concepts in Salesforce? What is the benefit of editions? Anyone?
Use unlimited editions like developer edition,
Hmm. We have only
free
two editions, sir. What are
AdSense,
all
like
professional.
modules.
sir? Tell me.
Is it modules? Like
Not modules. So I told you, right? There is something called editions. So based on the requirement, they will purchase the edition. I mentioned the examples also. Small companies will pay small amount, right? They will not pay like a huge amount. So medium companies will use a medium amount. Big companies like that. So that's why Salesforce not giving Salesforce CRM like a fixed price. Okay. So based on their requirement, based on their data storage and customers, so they're having additions, right? So as I showed you, right? Like so we have something called contact manager edition, basic edition, enterprise edition, right? Professional edition, all those editions we have, right? All these editions. Remember? Contact manager, group, professional, enterprise, and performance. Clear? All these are what's up? Paid editions. They need to pay the amount and they need to buy the software, Salesforce software, they can use it. Understand? For example, to practice which edition we have to use? These are all paid editions. For practice, which edition we have to use? If I want to learn Salesforce, how we can learn?
Free editions.
What is the free edition name? What we can call that edition? Developer edition. What's the edition name,
Yes.
madam? The developer edition.
Developer edition.
So these are all paid edition. What's the another name for this one? Performance edition. What's the another name for performance edition?
Salesforce.com.
No. Unlimited edition, madam. What we can call another name for performance edition? Unlimited edition. Okay, in the real time, which editions will use most of the times? And if you go any company, they will use a 90% of companies will use this edition. And apart from 90% companies, small clients will use these editions. Understand, madam? So you should prepare all these things. Okay, this is also very important questions in the Salesforce interviews. So tomorrow I will ask again all these questions. Understand? Cloud computing components, editions, right, madam? Which URL we have to use all these things. Clear? Please prepare tomorrow. What is multi-tenant architecture? Anyone? What is multi-tenant architecture? What is
Resource can be shared.
sir, madam?
One resource can be shared multiple people, sir.
Correct. That is called multi-tenant
Multi-tenant.
architecture. Okay. 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 So today we'll discuss some other topics. So last week we created one new account, right? So we have to use this URL, madam. Okay. Please create one new brand account. I'll share this URL. So you need to use this URL only. Okay. If you use other URLs, what will happen? Those are like a 30 days trailhead arcs only. So you should use this one. This is a lifetime free arc. Okay, but you should log in at least 3 months. For 3 months, at least you should log in at least once. Free developer edition. If you want to practice Salesforce, which session we have to use? Developer edition. This is a free for who want to practice Salesforce. Okay, create a new account and just remember that username and passwords. Okay, so once you entered all this first name, last name, all these details, and click on agree, so you will get email like this. So this is the email you will get. So what you have to do is you have to click a verify account and you have to set the new password for this username. Okay. So once you entered all these details, it will take 5 to 10 minutes time to receive that email. So once you receive this email, you have to click a verify account. Okay, you need to click this verify account. You have to give the username and password. Understand, sir? అర్థమైందా? Clear, everyone? How to
Yes,
create
sir.
new user account? Okay. Okay. So once you create this account, how you can log in? How to log in this URL? Next time onwards. So we have something called. Okay. Before that, I'll tell you. So there is something called in Salesforce. There are mainly two things. One is Sandbox, and the other one is production. Okay. Not only Salesforce. If you take any applications, there are mainly like two things. One is for testing, and one is for the live data. Okay. So first we'll discuss about Sandbox. What is Sandbox? Okay. So normally, if you take example, I have created one application, example hospital application. So I have created a new application. So once you create, how we can create new applications? Can we create applications directly in the live arc? Can we create our application directly and can we use it in the same arc? For example, assume I have taken one Salesforce org example. My org name is Rainbow App. Yeah. So I have created one application in the Salesforce org. What's the app name, madam? Rainbow Hospital App example. I have created one new org hospital app. So I have seen in this application, what are all the objects we can use normally in the hospital applications? Patients, doctors, okay, pharmacy, the diagnostics, something. Okay. So I have created one new application. I have developed one new application in the Salesforce app now. Okay. So can we use this application directly? I have created some validations and everything I've done here. Can we use application in the same arc? Can we use same arc for all the things, real-time data and everything? Normally, if you want to develop any application, how we can develop? Leave about this application. If I want to develop any application, how we can develop?
We created the developer org first and then migrated to higher orgs.
So normally, if you take any application, not only Salesforce, if you take any application, there is something called life cycle. Okay. All the things, development, testing, real-time data, all those things will not be in a one place. Understand, sir? Arthamavutunda? So everything we cannot build in a one place. Same org, we cannot build it. So what we have to do is, so we have something called, for example, assume here something, we have two people, example here, Suman and Neha. Okay. So normally these are the Salesforce developers, these people. Okay. For example, we will take a Mahesh and Subbareddy. Okay. So example, these people are like a Salesforce testers. They're working like a testing part, testing the Salesforce. They want to test the application. Okay. So for example, what is the client name here? Rainbow Hospital Application Club, right? So in the Rainbow Hospital application, so also some Salesforce people are there. For example, you will take a Suma and Nagaveni. Example, we'll take client. Who is our client? Rainbow Hospital application. Okay, sir. So for example, say once you purchased Salesforce license, for example, I have purchased a unlimited edition. So actually, Rainbow company want to use a Salesforce applications. What they will do first, they will purchase a Salesforce license. Which license they purchased, sir? Which edition they purchased?
Unlimited one.
Why they purchased unlimited edition? We have other editions also, right? Why they purchased unlimited edition only?
It
What's the
is a high
benefit? So that
performance one.
yeah, so that edition is having a more functionalities compared to these basic editions. Understand? Here you can do anything. You can create integrations. You can store n number of data, right? You can do any type of customization. You can do any type of application. All those things we can do. Okay. Because and one more thing, Rainbow is a not a small company. It is a big company. Okay. So they have that much of customers. So they have that much of data. So they want a huge functionality. So that's why they are ready to pay this much of amount. Understand? అర్థమవుతుందా what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Rainbow Hospital application want to use a Salesforce application. So that's with what they purchased, sir. They purchased the Allen edition. Okay. So once you purchased this edition from the Salesforce company, so first by default, what you will get is you will get a production arc. Which arc you will get, sir? Production arc. So what is production? So production is nothing but a real-time arc for client. Here, nothing but who is client here? Say Rainbow Hospital application. Rainbow Hospital is a client. Okay, client. Okay, for example, these people is working in an Accenture company. Who? Suman, Neha, Mahesh, and Subbareddy. So actually, this client, actually, this Rainbow Hospital wants to use a hospital application. So this client, okay, contacted Salesforce company to develop their requirements. Whatever they want. Okay, they want patient object. They want to create some validations on the patient records. They want to create some new custom UI. So they want to develop some new functionalities for based on their requirement. Okay. So now who is a client? Who is here like a company taking care of this project? Which company is taking this project, sir?
Accenture.
Accenture. So now Rainbow Hospital client contacted Accenture company. So now Accenture company will develop all these functionalities which are related to the hospital application. They will give this functionality to the Rainbow Hospital application. They will use the Salesforce. Okay. So here, whenever you purchase Rainbow Hospital application, sorry, Salesforce edition. So by default, which arc you will get? Production arc. So production arc is nothing but what, sir? It is a real-time data arc which will use by whom? Client. Rainbow Hospital people will use this application, not for the developers or testers like Accenture company and others. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So we received this edition now. Salesforce arc, like a production arc. Okay. So please mute yourself, sir. So whenever I'm asking question, then only you can answer. Otherwise, you can please mute. Okay. So once you purchase Salesforce license, so you will get a license edition. Okay. So now this Accenture company people like Suman, Neha, they want to develop this application. They want to create some new objects, validations, new things, automations and all. So where they will do now, this company, Accenture company, where they will, these people will do development part in the production arc. What is production arc? It is a real time. It will use by only client, but they want to develop this application, all these things. Where they will develop now?
Sandbox.
What is Sandbox?
Copy of production.
Yeah. So normally in the Salesforce, what will happen? Once you purchase the Salesforce license from the Salesforce company, any clients are not only Rainbow Hospital application. If you take Narayana School, they want to use a Salesforce application. Okay. If you take Itachi company, they want to use the Salesforce application for customers. If you take any application, okay. So if you take any client, if they want to use a Salesforce application, first they will get they will get first by default production arc. Okay. Once you get the production arc, so based on the requirement, for example, if just now they purchased which edition now? So unlimited edition, right? So they purchased unlimited edition means, so here, so they will get all the functionality from the Salesforce. Okay. So now what will happen once they purchase the arc? So if they want to develop any functionality or they want to test any functionality, even customers like a Rainbow Hospital people also they want to test this functionality. Where they will do all those things. They will not do all those things in the production arc. Okay. Where they will do all these things? In the sandboxes. So there is something called sandboxes. Sandboxes is nothing but a replica of production. Or we can call it copy of production. What is sandbox, sir? Replica of production or copy of which one? Production. So normally by default you will get a production arc. So production arc we cannot do any development, we cannot do any testing, we cannot do anything. Just we can create a real-time data there. If you want to create a new application or if you want to develop a new application, if you want to customize it, testing, where we can do all those things, sir? Testing, development, all those things in production or sandboxes. Where we can do all the development part, testing part for your new application. Production or sandboxes. No?
Sandboxes.
Sandboxes. Okay. What is sandbox? Sandbox is nothing but a copy of a production. So where we can get the sandboxes? Okay. So once you get the production R, there only we have something called sandboxes option is there. Some setup is there. Okay. So there we can go to sandboxes. We can click the new button. We can create a new sandboxes. So based on the requirement. Based on the requirement, we can create a new sandboxes. Okay. For example, normally in the real time, so what will happen is mainly we can create three sandboxes for any company or four sandboxes based on the requirement. Or even they can create more also. Okay, but maximum they will use a three. One sandbox is for developers. For example, uh, what is sandbox example? Developer sandbox. So this sandbox will use for whom? Maybe for developers. In case these people want to develop any functionality, right? Which are they will use? Developer sandbox. Okay. So similarly, we can get one more sandbox called test sandbox. So this sandbox will use by whom? These people. Okay. So we can create maximum one more sandbox like UAT sandbox. So normally what is UAT? What is the meaning of UAT? User acceptance testing. I'll tell you in detail. Okay, normally UAT sandbox. Okay. So this is the thing, sir. Okay. So if you want to develop any applications in a Salesforce, where we can develop all those new applications, sir? Sandboxes. Okay. If you take any company, Accenture, Capgemini, TCS, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So what will happen? So that companies will have a developers also they will have a testers also, and they will have some client people also. I mean, client means here, Red Hospital people also, business people and all these people also we have. Okay. So, for example, now Accenture company developers are developing one application. Example, you can say they created a one object called patient. Okay. what are the patient fields normally? Like if you talk about patient, what will come? What are the patient properties normally? What patients? How we can identify the patient? Identifications of patient. What are the patient attributes normally? Patient name, patient age, patient date of birth, patient email. What else?
Phone numbers.
Patient phone number. What else? Patient address, etc. Madam. You can create so many properties, attributes, or fields in the object level. Okay. So, for example, Suman created this object and all the properties and some validations also. Like example, phone number should be 10 digit. If I'll give more than 10 digit phone number, it will throw the error message. Some validations, some automations. Okay. So whenever I have created some patient record, so automatically I want to assign that to the some hospital point of contact people, not like nurses. After creating a task, I want to assign some task, create task automatically. Okay. So in the developer sandbox, they created an object, they created some validations, they created some automations. So who created all these things? Who created all these things? Suman. And who are these? These people belongs to which company and what they will do? What is their roles?
Accenture, like developers.
They are working in Accenture company. They are like what is the roles for their roles? Salesforce developers. So they created new object on these things, and so they tested also some functionality. It is working fine. Okay, so once it is working fine, what will happen? Can we move this directly to the production, or is it fine?
No,
For example, developers develop these functionalities. Can we move directly this functionality to the production? Production means what? What is production? Real time data, right? There we need to store the real time customers, all this information, live data. Is it fine? No. Why? If you current, for example, who tested this functionality? They only developed the functionality. They only tested. Apart from that, any other people tested? Like client knows what is the functionality, what is this functionality, how it will work, how to test this functionality. Don't know, right? So what will happen normally in the real time? If you develop any functionality, developers, they will do one round of testing. After testing, they will move this functionality to the other sandbox. Normally, what we call that sandbox? Test sandbox. Okay. So these are also belongs to Accenture people, maybe. Okay, same company. Okay. So what they will do, these people, they will do the testing. They are testing experts. Okay, these people are developers. These people are testers. Okay, they will do all the testing and they will create a documents, positive scenario, negative scenario, everything is working or not. In case if something, okay, phone validation is not working here, then what will happen? What these people will do? Something is not working. Example, this one is not working. Automations or phone validation is not working. What they will do? So they will inform to the, again, developers. Okay, phone validation is not working properly. So please work on it like that. They will create some bug. They will create some bug and they will, okay, they will again inform to the developers. What will happen? Okay, again they will test the where they will develop, where they will fix this functionality now. Where developers will fix this functionality, whichever is not working. For example, this validation is not working. This validation is not working. This is a bug. So where this issue will fix now? In that this sandbox or this sandbox? Which sandbox they will fix it? Where they will fix it? Issue? Again, they'll fix this issue in dev only because so they tested, they don't have like the developers don't have like a high level testing. Okay, positive scenario, they will not do all those things, negative scenario. What they will do is just they will develop the application, they will test one high level, not like in depth, like a testers. If you take any company, any project, testing team is separate, development team is separate, deployment team is separate. For each category, we have separate team. Okay. So these are like a testers. They will have a testing skills. They will do the all round of testing, like a positive scenario, negative scenario, all those things. Okay. So what they will do is testers will inform again, they create a bug and they will inform to the developers. Again, they'll fix this issue in the sandbox, developer sandbox. Once they fix it, again they will move to the where? Where they will move again? To the how can they will move from here to here? Actually, we have something called tools is there, deployment and one, but just I'm giving now. Once they fix it, they will move to the sense to the again which sandbox, sir? Just sandbox. Okay. Okay. Now these people develop, these people tested. Okay. How client knows like this is working or not? How client knows this is working or not? So this, whatever the applications are developed here, right? Tested, right? Again, that changes. We can move to the which sandbox? Which sandbox? UAT sandbox. Okay. So here, UAT normally UAT means what is? It is like a sales for like a business people only related to the Rainbow Hospital people only. They will end users who are going to use this application. This application, who are going to use this application, sir? Accenture company or Rainbow Hospital company? Which people will use this application? Who is using this application? Huh?
Rainbow.
Rainbow. So who will develop and test this functionality? Which company will develop and test this functionality?
Accenture.
Accenture company will develop and test the functionality. But end of the day, this application who is going to use?
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Okay, Rainbow persons only. So that's why. So in the production, before production, you want to use the functionality. So they will test the functionality where Rainbow users will test the functionality in which sandbox normally? In which sandbox they will test this functionality? UAT sand. Normally UAT means what? Users acceptance testing. Okay. So once it is passed here, then only we can move these changes to the production. Understand everyone? Okay. So normally, if you take any applications, so normally if you take any application, this is the life cycle. Okay. Normally, if you take any application, this is the life cycle. Okay. So first, we will get the production arc. Okay. This is called actually what? Production arc. Production. Okay. So once we get the production arc, okay. So this is once we purchase Salesforce license, we can get the production arc. Okay. So here we cannot develop anything. It is like a real-time data. Okay. But actually, if you want to develop any functionality, test the functionality, where we can do? We can do all these things in production or any other things where we can do all these things. Where we can develop application testing, application, all this. Can we do all these things in the production?
Sandbox.
Sandboxes. So how we can get sandboxes? In the production only, there is an option called sandboxes option. So there we can click the sandboxes and all. Okay. For example, I have created a one sandbox. For example, what is sandbox name I'm giving? For the sandbox, I'll give, for example, I have created one sandbox called okay. So I have created one sandbox name called Dev Sandbox. So this sandbox I'm just creating for the developers. I've got one more sandbox called Test Sandbox. One more thing called UAT Sandbox. Because I want to use a three separate sandboxes. So once you create a sandbox, developer sandbox, okay. So it is, what is sandbox? Sandbox is nothing but a what? What is sandbox? Sandbox is
Topic
nothing but
production.
it is same like a production. Okay, what is sandbox, madam? It is same like a production only. So what is the first sandbox name here? Developer sandbox. So here we can develop the application. For example, here, I can give. What is sandbox name? Developer sandbox. Okay. So here, who will work on this developer sandbox? Who will work? Developers, Salesforce developers will work. Okay. So here, for example, they created one rainbow app. Okay. In the app, there are something objects they created like a patient object and doctor's object, something they created, etc., etc. Okay. Patient object, doctor's object, something. Okay. So once they created the applications objects and they tested it is working fine, then what is the second step we have to do? After developing application objects and all basic things, development. Once development is complete, what we can do? Normally, for example, assume, for example, we'll take any company. Okay, for example, Maruti company is there. So Maruti company, they developed one new car. What they will do after developing manufacturing one new company, a new car? What they will do?
Testing, so
Right? If everything you need testing. For example, Samsung company created a new phone, iPhone launched a new phone. They will after created new phone, what they will do? They will directly launch into the market, right? They will not do directly. They will not launch into the market directly. Okay. Any application, anything. First, after development, what is the first thing we have to do?
we have
Testing.
to test.
Testing. Okay, madam. So how we can test the functionality? So whatever the components we developed here in this sandbox, so we have to move these components to another sandbox. What is another sandbox here? What is another sandbox name, madam?
Test.
Test sandbox. So who will use this sandbox, test sandbox normally? Which people will use this sandbox? Developers or hospital people? Which people will use this sandbox, test sandbox? We will use this sandbox. We will use this one. We will use
Developers.
Developers.
developers. This one will use not developers, madam. Testers. We
Oh,
will developer sandbox will use this one, this sandbox mainly. Okay. So once developers develop applications, and what they will do is they will move these components from this sandbox to this sandbox. So actually we have something concepts called uh, like a chain set. We can use workbench. There are some other tools, Azure DevOps. Some tools is there. We can move the components from one sandbox to other sandbox. Okay. So here, after development, testing will do. Once testing is completed, what is the next thing? Testing also passed. What is the next thing we'll do?
They can move to UAT.
They can move to the UAT. UAT means which people?
Oh, hospital.
Hospital users who are going to use the future, who is going to use this application future, that people. UAT sandbox. So they will also test the same functionality. They will also test this functionality is working or not. Whatever developer that tested, okay, same thing is working or not, they will also test. Okay. If these people said, okay, everything is working fine, okay, whatever they are expecting, hospital persons, how the patient object work, the doctors objects data, how it should display and all those things, it is working fine. Then what? Everything is working fine. Then what is the next thing, last thing? What is the last thing you have to do, madam? After everything is working fine? Hmm? What else? If they said everything is working fine, then we can move these components to from where to where? UAT, sandbox to where? Production. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా what I'm saying? Any questions, any confusion here? Any questions, confusion? Just you can ask me, no problem. Anyone have confusion? Understand, sir? అర్థమైందా? Any questions, confusion? So simple, sir. Normal ga, if you want to develop any functionality, any application, not only Salesforce, if you take any application, any software company, any client, they will not do everything in the one org. Okay. Developer, tester, UAT, all these people and real-time data, everything we cannot do in a simple org, one single org. If everything you can do in single org, what will happen? Any guess? See, for example, assume we don't have sandboxes. So developers are developing a new application here. Testers also testing that application here. And UATs people also are testing this here. What will happen? Everything they are doing in one org, what will happen? 1 minute. Huh? So clear everyone what I'm saying? If you take any application, not only Salesforce, so if everything we can do in a single org, what will happen? Anyone just give me answers. So for example, developers also developing, testers also testing, if this plus working, all people are working in the same org, what will happen? This functionality will not work because if any errors will come in the production, what will happen? How they will store the real-time data? Client can use now they will store the real-time data? No, right? So these people are testing. If they create some data, test data, they'll create test data like a testing there. That is not a real time data. So how it is not? It is like completely everything is mess. Understand? అర్థమవుతుందా what I'm saying? All people are working in one hour. What will happen? It will be like a completely mess. It will not work properly because these people are once they're developing, they will get some issues by developing. These people are testing. They will create some test data which is not a virtual data, real time data, customers data. These people even don't know what is the functionality, like how it will work, how we need to navigate. So all people are working in a single place. What will happen? What will happen, sir? మీరు రిప్లై ఇవ్వాలి. ఐఎమ్ వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్ యూ రిప్లై. You
Confused.
should speak. What will happen? All people are working in the same org. So it is completely, it will mess up. It will not work properly. So that's why if you take any application, any software company, if you go any company, not only Salesforce, so completely for development, separate org, for testing, separate org, for acceptance testing, separate org. Once these three all fine, right? Everything is working fine, then only we can move the changes to the production. In the production, what will happen? Directly, customers can store their live data. Understand everyone? అర్థమవుతుందా? Yes or no?
Yes,
Huh?
sir.
Okay. So not only Salesforce, if you take any application, any software company, if you want to develop anything, they will not do that. They will not develop all the things in at a one place. At least they will have one sandbox, at least for development and testing and all these things. If everything is paused, they can move it. But normally it is a life cycle: development, testing, UAT, and production. For example, I want to create one more object like diagnostics. I want to create one more object now, diagnostics object. Where I can create diagnostics object now? Can I create directly that functionality in production? Diagnostics, is it fine? Can we create new functionality I want to create now? Where I have to start again that new functionality? Production directly I can add the diagnostics object. Where we need to start again from?
Develop.
Exactly. So can we do any development testing in production? Yes or no? Can we do development and testing in production? Real time or? Yes or no? Can we develop testing? All these things we can do in production. Where we can do the development, testing, and all those things in production or where? Again, if you want to develop any new functionality, where we should start again from? Where should we start?
Develop.
Again, we should start from this place. Okay. Any functionality, sir, any new development, anything where you want to start again from starting onwards, again you have to create a new functionality here, like something called diagnostics. Okay. Again, developers will test this functionality. Okay. If everything is working fine, what will happen? Again, if it is working fine, then what we have to do? Can we move directly this diagnostic from here to here?
No,
Can
sir. We have
then what?
to testing, sir.
Again, we have to do the testing from where? In the test
Development
sandbox.
to
Then again, directly we can move from here to here. Production. What we have to do? Again, this testing is testing. Who is doing this testing, madam? Rainbow people or
Testers.
Accenture people? Accenture normally testers will be in the same company. Okay. Who will test this function? Accenture only maximum. So once they tested, what they will do? They will move this to the UAT. Who will do this testing in UAT?
Rainbow. Hospital.
Rainbow hospital people, hospital business people, or who is going to use that application in future? That people. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So if everything is fine, last what? What is the last thing, sir?
we have to go
Production.
for the production.
Products. Okay. So normally, if you want to develop any application, not only Salesforce, if you take any applications, you're working on a Java developer, you are working in SQL developer, any developer, They will not do all the things in the one arc. They will not do all the things in the one arc. Okay. So what will happen? They will create a separate arc for development. They will create a separate arc for testing. They will create a separate arc for end user testing. Once all these things are passed, okay, once all these things are passed, then we can move that components to the production. And the production, that is like a real-time environment. Who will use that real-time environment? Client will use that real-time environment. Okay. In the production, you cannot do even one small development also. Even you cannot create field. For example, I want to create patient data, but directly in the production. No, that is not possible. Even if you want to create small field, small change, even if you want to create one small change, where you have to start that change? Even if you want to add some sample field also, small field also, where you need to add that field?
Developer sandbox.
Develop. It should be, this is the life cycle. Again, you have to come to this place, to this place, to this place, to this place. You cannot do any small change also in the production, because production is a live environment for the clients. If you do any development, if you do any testing, if you do anything in the production, it will be problem for the customers, right? Who is using that application, that people will face any issues. If you do any errors will come and all those things. Even any errors will coming in the production. For example, if the production errors is coming, then what you have to do? You have to see that error. You have to inform to the developers. Then again, they will fix that error from where? Here, from here onwards. Again, okay, this is error coming in the production. So what is this error? Can you please fix? So again, where will start? They will start. Again, the developers will see that error. They will first that they will try to replicate it. They will try to copy same type. They will generate same type of error in the developer sandbox. Okay, it is error. Then they will fix from the developer sandbox. Then tester. Then UAT. Then production. Okay. So in the production, you cannot do anything. Just you can create a records. Just creating records. That's it. You cannot do anything. That is a live environment. Clear everyone? అర్థమవుతుందా? అర్థమవుతుందా? Any questions?
Yes, yes.
Reply yes
Understood.
or no? Okay, sir. Okay. So normally what I mentioned, sir. So whenever you purchase Salesforce a license, okay, these are the additions. So performance, enterprise, all these things. So whenever you purchase this Salesforce license, so first what you will get? You will get Sandbox directly, or what you will get? You will get a production Salesforce. Which all will get? Production Sandbox, sir. Once you purchase Salesforce license from the Salesforce company, what you will get? You will get a Sandbox or production?
You get a production org.
Yeah, first you will get a production org. From the production, what you can create? Sandboxes. From the production, what you can create? Once you get the production org, once you get the production org, what will happen, sir? You can create a sandboxes based on the requirement. Okay. Some people will create a 3 sandboxes. Some people will create a 4 sandboxes. Some people will get five sandboxes also. You can create a number of sandboxes. Like, but most of the cases, in the what I observed in the real time is maximum 3 or 4. Okay, not more than that. But in this case, I have given example 3 sandboxes. So in the real time also, most of the times 3 sandboxes only for developers, testers, UAT, and production. Okay. So sandboxes is nothing but what's a copy of a production. In the production, whatever is there, same thing will copy to the sandboxes. Okay. For example, I'll ask one more question now. Tell me answer. So currently, how many sandboxes we have, sir, now here? How many are there sandboxes now?
3.
3 sandboxes. Now I want to create one more sandbox. For example, that sandbox name I can give example QA sandbox. Just understand. I'm creating one more sandbox now. What's the sandbox name? QA sandbox. So tell me, sir, now already in the sandbox, in the production, for example, I want to get this QA sandbox now. Where I have to create? Where we can create sandboxes? Where I have to create sandbox now? New sandbox again.
Production.
Correct. Everything, sir. First, if you want to do anything, okay. Now, if I create a QA sandbox here, what will happen? Tell me in this production now. What anything are existing? Sir, already any applications are existing in production now? Anything is existing in the production now? Anything is existing in production now? Yeah, already anything is there in the production now? Yes or no? What other things are there? Rainbow app is there, patient is there, doctors is there, so diagnostics are there. So already some components are there. So now if you create a new sandbox, what will happen? Automatically, whatever is there, automatically what will happen? Automatically, whatever is there here in production, for example, automatically it will come in where? Where it will come now? Automatically
In the QA sandbox.
in the previous sandbox. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా? So what is sandbox? What I mentioned, sandbox is nothing but what? Copy of a what?
Production.
Production. So if you create sandbox now, what will happen? Automatically, whatever is there in the sandbox, automatically what will happen?
Let's create.
It will copy to the where? The sandbox. So now what will happen? So if you observe now, this is also having same all are syncing now. Yes or no? All four sandboxes are synced now. Yes or no? Say all four are having same components or any different components? All four sandboxes having same components or different components now? Same, right? In the production, whatever is there, same thing is there in the new sandbox. So now what will happen? If you want to develop any functionality now, you can add here because it is nothing but a production, all these things. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా? So
Yes.
sandbox is nothing but what? Copy of what? What is sandbox? Sandbox is nothing but copy of a production.
Production.
Replica of production. Simple గా చెప్పాలంటే in Telugu terms, okay, already I'm saying like in English it is nothing but a copy of production. In Telugu what we can say, it is a same like a అదే ఇంక ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ఎలా ఉంటే అలా ఉంటుంది. ఈ ప్రొడక్షన్ లో వాట్ ఆర్ ద కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఆర్ దే, సేమ్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ విల్ కమ్ అండర్ ద శాండ్ బాక్స్ ఇఫ్ యూ క్రియేట్ న్యూ శాండ్ బాక్స్. If here in the production there is nothing will come. But if you create or by default it will have some Salesforce applications. By default, Salesforce applications, what are the Salesforce applications? By default applications, sales applications, service applications, account object, lead object, contact object. So by default, all these applications will get, right? So that will automatically come under sandbox whenever you create a new sandbox. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా? Yes or no? So
Yes, sir.
sandbox is nothing but a copy of a production. Sandboxes we can use. Why will use sandboxes? We will use sandboxes to develop a new functionalities or to customize the existing functionalities. For testing, we can use sandboxes. For users acceptance testing also, we can use sandboxes. Once all the things are completed, then only we can move that components, that development components, new functionality, we can move that new functionality to the production. In the production, we cannot do any small development also. It is a real-time environment. So if you do anything, it will break a data. It will be effect for both customers and all those. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా? Okay. So normally, so based on the additions, for example, if you buy these additions, you will get a more sandboxes. For example, you will get 50 sandboxes. If you buy this edition, you will get like a 30. If you buy this one, if you get a 20. If you buy this one, if you get a 5. If you use this one, 3 sandboxes. So based on the additions you are purchasing, based on the Salesforce edition you are purchasing, you will get a sandboxes like that. That many. Okay. So just for example, most of the cases will go for this edition, right? So we'll get a more sandboxes. We'll get a like around 10 sandboxes high 10. Okay. Actually, there are sandboxes also four types are actually. Okay. We have four types of sandboxes normally, like a developer sandbox, pro sandbox, all these things. So we'll discuss this tomorrow. Just now, just focus on what is sandbox and what is production now. What are the different types of sandboxes is there? That we'll discuss tomorrow. Clear everyone? అర్థమవుతుందా? Or any questions? Hello, sir. Respond. Response is important, sir, in the class. Otherwise, difficult.
No doubt, sir.
Clear? Okay, sure. What I'll do, sir, I'll upload this video